It happens in a flash. One moment you're playing with your cat, the next you're staring at a fresh scratch on your hand, and your cat has bolted across the room like they've committed a crime. You pull your hand back, maybe let out a little yelp, and suddenly your cat is watching you from a distance with those wide, uncertain eyes. Most owners assume their cat doesn't care, that they've simply moved on. But here's what behavioral experts want you to know. Your cat is already trying to apologize. You're just not seeing it yet. And once you learn to recognize these signals that most owners completely miss, you'll never look at your cat the same way again. It happens more often than any of us would like to admit. You're in the middle of a perfectly good cuddle session, or an energetic play session with that feather wand your cat loves, and suddenly, claws meet skin. Maybe your cat got overstimulated. Maybe they misjudged a jump and used you as a landing pad. Maybe playtime got a little too intense and those hunting instincts kicked in a bit too hard. Whatever the reason, it hurts. And your natural reaction is completely valid. You flinch, you pull away. Maybe you say "ow" a little louder than you intended, and in that split second, something shifts. Your cat freezes, their ears rotate back slightly, their body tenses, and then they're gone. What's across the room, under the bed, behind the couch? Somewhere safe where they can watch you from a distance. Now, here's what most people think in this moment. They think their cat doesn't care. They assume cats lack the emotional depth to recognize they've caused harm, or that feline independence means indifference to your pain. But according to Dr. Sharon Crowell Davis, a veterinary behaviorist at the University of Georgia, this couldn't be further from the truth. That immediate retreat isn't cold detachment. It's actually the first stage of a complex behavioral response that mirrors reconciliation patterns seen in social mammals. Your cat isn't ignoring what happened, they're processing it. And what comes next, if you know what to look for, is their way of making things right. Before we decode the apology, we need to address the elephant in the room. Do cats even feel guilt in the first place? For decades, the scientific consensus was a firm no. Cats were considered too independent, too solitary, too, well, cat-like to experience complex social emotions. But recent research is painting a very different picture. Dr. Kristin Vitale, a cat cognition researcher at Oregon State University, has demonstrated that cats form secure attachments to their owners that parallel the bonds between human infants and their caregivers. This means your cat isn't just tolerating you for food, they're genuinely emotionally invested in your relationship. Now, do cats experience guilt exactly the way humans do? Probably not. The prefrontal cortex structures that generate human guilt are different in felines. But here's what they do experience. They experience social disruption. They feel the shift in your energy. They recognize when the bond has been strained, and, this is the important part, they're motivated to repair it. Think of it less like human guilt and more like relational awareness, when your cat may not be thinking, "I feel terrible about what I did," but they are thinking something closer to, "Something is wrong between us, and I need to fix it." According to Dr. John Bradshaw, author of Cat Sense and one of the world's leading anthrozoologists, cats have evolved sophisticated social repair mechanisms precisely because maintaining positive relationships with their chosen humans directly impacts their sense of security. So when your cat hurts you, even accidentally, they feel that disruption in the bond, and what follows is their attempt to restore it. Pay attention to what happens in the minutes and hours after an incident, because your cat's first apology is often the most subtle. After retreating to a safe distance, your cat will begin watching you. Not the casual, disinterested glance of a cat who couldn't care less, but a focused, careful observation. They're reading you and assessing your body language, waiting for signals that it might be safe to approach. And then, the slow approach begins. You might notice your cat moving toward you in an almost exaggerated, deliberate way. Not their usual confident stride, but something more tentative, more careful. They might take a few steps, then pause. A few more steps, then sit down. few more, then stop to groom themselves briefly before continuing. This stop and start pattern isn't random, according to Dr. Michael Delgado, a certified cat behavior consultant. This measured approach is a deliberate de-escalation signal. Your cat is essentially saying, "I'm coming closer, but I'm not a threat. I'm giving you space to reject me if you need to." It's their way of testing the waters without forcing the interaction. Think of it like when you've upset a friend and you don't just barge into their space demanding forgiveness. You approach gently, maybe hover at the doorway, and give them the chance to wave you away or invite you in. Your cat is doing exactly the same thing. And here's what most owners miss. When they see this hesitant approach, they interpret it as their cat being weird or skittish for no reason. They don't realize this is the apology beginning. This careful, respectful approach is your cat's way of saying, "I know something went wrong, and I'm trying to make it right, on your terms." If your cat has ever started licking you gently after accidentally hurting you, you've witnessed one of the most ancient reconciliation rituals in the feline world. This behavior is called allogrooming, and in cat colonies, it serves a very specific social function. Dr. Ruud van den Bos, an animal behavior researcher, found that allogrooming among cats increases significantly after conflicts. It's not just about hygiene, it's about relationship repair. When your cat begins licking you, especially near the area they scratched or on your hands and face, they're engaging in a behavior that's hardwired to mean, "We're okay, right? We're still family." Now, the licking might be gentle, almost tentative at first. A few soft licks, a pause to check your reaction, a few more licks. They're not just grooming you, they're checking in with you emotionally. According to Pam Johnson-Bennett, one of the most respected certified cat behavior consultants in the field, this post-incident grooming is one of the clearest apology signals cats offer, yet it's frequently dismissed by owners as random affection. But the timing isn't random at all. Your cat has chosen this specific moment, after causing harm, to engage in a behavior that communicates care, family bonding, and social repair. It's the feline equivalent of a hug after an argument, a physical gesture that says what words cannot. And here's something beautiful. If you accept this grooming, if you stay still and let them lick you, maybe even offer a slow blink in return, you're speaking their language right back. You're saying, "Yes, we're okay, apology accepted." Have you ever noticed your cat suddenly appearing with their favorite toy after a scratching incident, dropping it near you like some kind of peace offering? This isn't coincidence. In fact, it's one of the most fascinating apology behaviors cats display, and it has deep roots in their evolutionary psychology. In the wild, cats bring prey back to their family group as a form of provision and bonding. When your domesticated cat brings you a toy, or yes, sometimes an unfortunate mouse, they're engaging in the same behavior. But the timing matters. According to Dr. John Bradshaw, when cats bring objects to their owners specifically after negative interactions, it represents a form of gift-giving designed to restore social harmony. Think about it from your cat's perspective. They don't have words. They can't say, "I'm sorry I scratched you." But they can bring you something valuable, something that matters to them, and offer it as a gesture of reconciliation. That ratty old mouse toy they've had for 3 years, that's their treasure. And they're laying it at your feet because, in their mind, gifts repair relationships. Dr. Michael Delgado notes that this behavior is especially common in cats who have strong bonds with their owners. The more attached your cat is to you, the more likely they are to bring offerings after incidents. So the next time your cat appears with a toy after hurting you, don't just see a cat with a toy. See it for what it is. A sincere attempt to make amends in the only currency they have. Now we're entering sacred territory, the behavior that reveals the deepest level of feline apology. If your cat exposes their belly to you after an incident where they caused you harm, pay very close attention. The belly is the most vulnerable part of a cat's body. It houses vital organs with minimal protection. In the wild, exposing the belly to another creature could mean death. So when your cat rolls over and shows you their stomach, especially after scratching or biting you, they're making an extraordinary statement of trust and submission. According to the International Cat Care Organization, the belly-up position is reserved almost exclusively for individuals the cat trusts completely. It's not an invitation to rub their belly. That's actually a common misunderstanding. It's a display, a gesture, a way of saying, I trust you not to hurt me, even though I hurt you. Dr. Sharon Crowell Davis explains that this vulnerability display after conflict is a sophisticated reconciliation behavior. Your cat is essentially lowering all their defenses and saying, I'm not a threat. Please don't see me as one. We're still safe with each other, right? This is profound when you think about it. Your cat, a predator by nature, an animal built for independence and survival, is choosing to make themselves completely vulnerable to you specifically because they want to repair what was damaged. They're not doing this for treats. They're not doing this for food. They're doing this because your relationship matters to them, and they're willing to risk vulnerability to restore it. You've earned something here that can't be bought or forced. You've earned the kind of trust that makes a cat say, even after what happened, I still feel safe with you. In the days following an incident, you might notice something shift in your cat's proximity habits. They might follow you from room to room more than usual. They might sleep closer to you at night, or choose to nap in the same room rather than their usual hiding spots. They might sit near you while you work, not demanding attention, just being present. This prolonged presence is another apology signal that most owners completely overlook. According to Dr. Kristin Vitale, cats use physical proximity as a primary way of maintaining and repairing social bonds. When your cat stays unusually close after causing harm, they're not being clingy or needy. They're actively working to rebuild connection. Think of it like a friend who hurt your feelings showing up with coffee every day that week. They're not asking for forgiveness with words. They're demonstrating it with consistent presence. They're saying, I'm still here. I still choose you. I'm not going anywhere. Your cat is doing the same thing, just without the coffee. And here's the part that might surprise you. Research published in the journal Animal Cognition suggests that cats can read human emotional states and often adjust their behavior accordingly. So your cat isn't just randomly deciding to be closer. They're sensing that the bond needs reinforcement, and they're providing it in the most cat-like way possible. Simple, quiet, consistent presence. No demands, no drama. I'm here with you. Now that you know the individual signals, let's talk about how they often appear together in what behaviorists call the reconciliation sequence. It typically unfolds like this. First, the retreat and observation phase. Your cat distances themselves and watches carefully. Then, the slow approach. Tentative, respectful, giving you control. Next, some form of physical reconciliation. This might be gentle grooming, headbutting, or simply pressing against you softly. Often, a gift or offering appears, that favorite toy, placed near you like a peace treaty. And finally, if everything has gone well, the vulnerability display and prolonged presence, the belly exposure, the sleeping closer, the following you around. Not every cat will display every signal. Some cats are more demonstrative than others, just like some humans apologize with grand gestures, while others prefer quiet consistency. But according to Jackson Galaxy, a renowned cat behaviorist, most cats will offer at least 2 or 3 of these signals after incidents where they've caused harm. The key is paying attention. And here's perhaps the most important part. How you respond matters enormously. When your cat offers these apology signals and you accept them, when you offer a slow blink back, when you pet them gently, when you accept their presence without pushing them away, you're not just forgiving them. You're actively strengthening the bond. You're teaching your cat that your relationship can survive ruptures. That conflict doesn't mean abandonment, that you, their chosen human, can be trusted to receive their vulnerability and treat it with care. So the next time your cat's claws accidentally find your skin, and they will, because cats are cats, remember this. That retreat across the room isn't indifference. Those wide eyes watching you from a distance aren't cold calculation. Then that tentative approach, those gentle licks, that toy appearing out of nowhere, that belly exposed in quiet surrender, that shadow following you from room to room, these are all your cat's way of saying something they have no words for. I didn't mean to. We're still okay, right? You're still my person. And when you recognize these signals, when you meet them with patience and acceptance, you're doing something profound. You're speaking a language that transcends species. You're telling your cat that yes, we're still okay. Yes, you're still my cat. And no, nothing changes that. That bond you share, it's not fragile. It's not conditional. It's built on countless small moments, just like this one. Moments of rupture and repair that make your relationship deeper and more resilient than you ever imagined. Your cat chose you. And every time they apologize in their quiet, beautiful, unmistakably feline way, they're choosing you all over again.